Welcome to Nerdgasm, everyone. Today we're going to talk about something that people have been asking about. What's the deal with Barry walking into the Speed Force, and what is going on with the Speed Force prison? As we know, Barry had to walk into the Speed Force with that creepy Speed Force manifestation of his mother, all because the Speed Force requires that someone stay inside of it, or else the unbalance will destroy the world. Seriously, how many people do you think died from that lightning in Central City? And then while that was going on, everyone was having these long-ass goodbyes, lightning just raining from the skies, hitting people. Was there a guy getting dragged in the streets by the wind? It was crazy. Some people are thinking that Barry isn't going to come back next season, but I'm telling you guys, Grant Gustin isn't going anywhere. He'll be back for season 4 of The Flash. He won't show up in the very first episode of The Flash, though. There's going to be some time that goes by before they can come up with a reason how they got him out of the Speed Force. But he won't be gone for a long amount of time this season. I would say somewhere between 3 and 5 episodes until he's running around as the Flash again. Wally West is still going to be Kid Flash. I doubt they're going to have him taking on the mantle of the Flash right after Barry disappears. He hasn't really done enough as Kid Flash to start going around as the Flash. Some people really wanted to know why exactly the Speed Force even needs someone inside of it to begin with. The really short answer that they give us at the end of the episode is that the Speed Force is imbalanced. So there has to be someone inside of the prison. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the episode where Barry actually goes to save Wally from the Speed Force prison, when Jay Garrick is inside there and he says, "I'm going to stay behind," the door wasn't closed. The door was wide open. They could have just walked out and it would have been fine. But I'm assuming Jay Garrick knew that someone had to stay, not because they wouldn't be able to leave the Speed Force, but because the Speed Force was going to get all pissy and start raining lightning down on the world. But this leads us to another question. If future Dr. Tracy Brand created the Speed Force prison to begin with, then there has to be a way to destroy it. So why not just figure out how to do that next? The Speed Force prison was never an original part of the Speed Force. It was created to trap Savitar. Not only that, the Speed Force would have had to let Barry create the prison inside of it. Because we all know that the Speed Force does not like being messed with. I don't see it just sitting back casually while Barry's just knocking down walls to get a better flow and make a prison. The Speed Force isn't going to let him just start remodeling up in there without consent. Seeing as the Speed Force allowed Barry to create the prison, then there really isn't any reason why it wouldn't let Team Flash destroy the Speed Force prison as well. Now that Savitar is no longer a being that will ever be created, it won't matter if the prison is destroyed, because now technically Savitar never inhabited the prison to begin with. This is kind of similar to how Barry sacrificed his life to stop the Anti-Monitor from destroying all of existence, and he ends up getting sucked into the Speed Force, right? Everybody thinks he's dead, but really, he's in the Speed Force, because that's where all speedsters go. And then, for 20 years, Wally West is the Flash. Then, at a certain point, Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, calls Barry out of the Speed Force. He sends a signal into the Speed Force that makes Barry feel like he's needed, and then Barry has to come back to save his friends. So, subconsciously, Barry actually runs out of the Speed Force. It wouldn't be that much of a leap for Team Flash, probably mostly Cisco, #themhandsbesaved, to create something that will destroy the prison and call Barry out of the Speed Force at the same time. Next thing we know, Barry's back, and he's wondering how many episodes until he destroys the world again. But no more prison means no more Speed Force storms anymore. And of course, the Speed Force won't be trying to kill anyone anymore. Not that it was doing it on purpose. I feel like the Speed Force is just nonchalant about everything. Let's be honest though. We know that the Speed Force isn't just going to let them off the hook. The Speed Force storm probably hit a ton of people. And they're going to be laughing at all the people that got powers now that Team Flash is going to have to fight. But we'll talk about the Speed Force storm and the powers that it can give people and the relation to the DC comic books later. Right now, the most important thing is that it looks like they're setting up for a 2009 Flash rebirth and then also the newest DC rebirth mixed together to try and get Barry out of the Speed Force. Clearly, it's not going to be the Reverse Flash, because if you watch Legends of Tomorrow, then you know what happens to him. But it wouldn't be crazy to think that if Cisco can make a skeleton key to get Jay Garrick out, then he could also make something that would just flat out annihilate the prison. And they still have Dr. Tracy Brand. She could figure out how to do it. Because, again, I can't overstate this, the Speed Force prison was created. That means that it doesn't matter if it's destroyed, the Speed Force won't be out of balance. The Speed Force would just have to accept it the same way that it accepted this prison being made in the first place. But that's just my theory, guys. Let me know what you guys think about the Speed Force prison. Let me know what you guys think happened to Barry. Do you think something from the comic book arc is going to happen again? Do you think that maybe Barry won't even be back this season and he'll just show up randomly, kind of like he did in the comic books when he saved everyone from Superboy Prime real quick? Tell me what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to share, tell your friends about the Nerdgasm, let them know about the Nerdgasm. Let's splash this video on everything you got. Appreciate the support, guys. I love you. You guys are awesome. Expect the Wally West video later on today. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.